Hi there folks, welcome to RRTV's live coverage of the Skip Barber Monday Lights. We're coming to you from Interlagos tonight for round 6 of the Skip Barber Championship. And I'll tell you what, Alex, I can't believe it, we're halfway through the season already.
Absolutely, Bernie. Welcome everyone to another coverage of Monday Night Lights for, as you say, round 6, halfway through the season, Bernie. And it looks like another fantastic field, I have to say. We've got a strength of field, so roughly the average iRating, the skill rating of everyone in the field, of just over, or just under 3,600, I should say, which is once again the second highest for the week. And consequently, this event once again attracting a really a vast array of local and international talent, all on the hunt for some big points that are on offer tonight, Bernie.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of points on offer, and the level of competition is definitely there. But let's have a look, before we get into all this, at our point score, Alex, and we'll start from there, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment we've got Luke Whitten leading the pack, the leading local driver as well, of course. Enzo Cantor sitting there in second, leading international driver and 3 times season winner here at the Monday Night Lights, sitting in second, followed by another local guy, Dennis Fiedler, actually a trio in Dennis Fiedler, Alex John and Ben Snell rounding out your top 5. Interestingly, Dennis Fiedler spent a few weeks in the second split getting some good points behind him, earning some iRating, and it's fantastic to see him back in the top split tonight. So sitting there in third, it'll be interesting to see if he can keep gathering those points and keep that season momentum going, Bernie.
Yeah, it definitely will be, and we're halfway through, so it'll be interesting how much tighter it gets as this season unfolds, I guess.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. So Luke's really sort of off and running, off to the races, so to speak. Interesting to see that Enzo, usually, who has been so dominant here in the past, sort of languishing behind a bit, even though he's had the same number of races. And I can't see him out there in the field tonight, so he might be having a week off by the looks, which won't do his season overall hopes terribly well, I must say, but certainly opens the door for a few of the other guys turning up tonight, Bernie.
Yeah, it certainly does, and I tell you what, you can't afford to have too many nights off, because the level of competition this season is absolutely through the roof at the moment. You can see the guys out here, folks, qualifying. So let's have a look at our qualifying standings at the moment. So Jamie Simonet is on provisional pole with a 151.139. Hakon Grebstad in second at the moment with a 151.248. Then we've got Jared Marks in third with a 151.417. Luke Whitten at the moment in fourth, and then rounding out your top 5 is Alex John with a 151.507.
Yeah, great top 5 so far, Bernie. I haven't raced with Jamie Simonet before. Interested to see how he go from the Iberian club. Håkon Grebstad there sitting currently in second. He's been having a fantastic week of racing here. Really, really hot on the pace of the top guys. And I see Benny Simonson now jumping to the top. Fantastic to see Benny come down for the Monday Night Lights. I know he was looking to run this one specifically. And for those of you who don't know, the other really strong race during the week is a midweek strength of field race, broadly speaking, for the UK and the US guys. Benny Simonson took that one out this week. A great drive it was. I watched the replay back and he did a fantastic job. But also great to see Jared Marks there, who's jumping down the order a bit now, but he's probably got his second lap to do. Another young and up-and-coming driver from the Australian New Zealand club who, if he can string his laps together tonight, Bernie, I'm sure he'll be right up there with the best of them.
Yeah, well, it got pretty exciting there. We had Benny Simonson jump to provisional pole, and then Luke Whitten snatched it away from him on the last second and took pole position. That bumps Hakon Grebstad down to third and Alex John down to fourth at the moment.
Yeah, interestingly, Bernie, I'm watching Dennis Johansson down in the final position. I'm not sure that he's set a qualifying time as yet. I'll just hop on his stream. So those of you who've got multiple monitors and interested to see a first-person view of the action from a top driver, head over to Twitch TV. The channel is Rd6 Dennis Johansson is not only a fantastic driver on the iRacing circuits, he's actually a real-life racing driver instructor. He's been dominating here this week, and I've just had a look. He's on his second qualifying lap. Doesn't look like he set a time on the first one, so and he's out the back of the track now with only a minute remaining. If he can get around in time, be interested to see what sort of lap time he can set and how far up the order he can get, Bernie.
Yeah, well, as he comes into the final corner here, his goal is 1:57.40. He's sitting on 1:31 at the moment, up to 1:34. And folks, you can look in the bottom left corner there, and you can see the timer, the real life timer, ticking up. And 7 seconds to make pole. It's going to be close, I think, Alex.
Yeah, very close. Be interested to see. He's got a nice clean lap. So what sort of time is he posted now? He jumped up into third position now, Bernie, with a 151 dead, a 151.016, which is surprisingly 4/10 off the leader in the pulse here in Benny Simonson. But having said that, Benny's also a professional race car driver, so no shame in finishing a little under half a second behind him, Benny.
Yeah, so at the moment we've got Benny Simonson on provisional pole, Luke Whitten second. That's the way it's going to end. So let's go through our grid, and you can see where your favourite driver will be starting tonight. Okay, looking at the grid, folks, we've got Benny Simonson from the UK and Ireland starting from pole position with Luke Whitten in second. Starting out of third tonight will be Dennis Johansson. Håkon Grebstad, he's going to start out of fourth with Alex John out of fifth. Jamie Simonet from Iberia, he's going to start out of sixth tonight. In seventh, we've got Russell Clark, followed by David McDonald out of eighth. Jeremiah Morton will start out of ninth with Christian Kabunka in 10th. Jared Marks will start out of 11th. Mick Gray, he will start out of 12th tonight. Dennis Fiedler will start in 13th, followed by Ben Snell. Kevin Henderson in 15th, and then Benjamin Soko. Ilu Castells will start out of 17th, with Brian Lockwood starting out of 18th. Out of 19th tonight is Jason Perry too, and rounding out your top 20 is Jason Willman.
Well, fantastic full grid, isn't it, Bernie? Not often that you get the numbers right and get a full grid in the top split on a Monday night. So fantastic to see such a high-quality field and a full grid at that, Bernie. So looking forward to some spectacular action as they run around this famous Interlagos circuit.
Yeah, and we can see them at the moment just getting ready for starters orders. We are under starters orders now, folks, so we're in the countdown, hearing the revs rise, and we're going to get green now. So we're underway here at Interlagos. 13 laps remaining. Nice clean start, but it always is until they come to the first corner.
Yeah, first quarter dramas are not uncommon here. The starter held them for quite a while, but extra chance for the engine to warm up and the ponies to wake up at the same time, Bernie, as they all sort of make their way through the first couple of corners here at the Centre S on lap 1, Bernie. All seem to have gotten through relatively cleanly. No major dramas at this stage, Bernie. So once again, talking to the calibre of this field, we'll see how they settle towards the end of the first straight, Bernie.
Yeah, so your leader is Benny Simonson as they come into turn, I think, 4 there. Luke Whitten second, Dennis Johansson third, Håkon sitting in fourth, fifth, Alex John, and that's your top 5.
That's a great start from Alex John, Bernie. Car number 16 here. He's sort of made his way into the top split here in a very hotly contested field. Really impressed with that qualification now as they all run up through this curvy midsection through turn 7 into turn 8 now. First gear right-hander, one of a couple out the back here. Good passing opportunities once things settle down, but for the most part, there's a bit of action out of the rear, Bernie. Who's that? Elia Castu and Kevin Henderson have come together through the tail end of turn 8, Bernie.
Okay, we'll go and have a look at that replay very shortly. Once things settle down, we can see Christian Kabunka there, and another car's run very wide. It was a blue one, and that's my technical take on that.
I was just checking out that incident, Bernie. I'll just catch up with the action now. I'm following up at the front now. They're going too wide now on the exit of the final corner up front. Benny Simonson really looking to skip away here if given half a chance. Bernie's got just over half a second on Dennis Johansson there in second, with Luke Whitten tucking in behind in third. They're starting to close that gap now in the draft. The draft plays a big factor here, as we see now. Håkon Grebstad looking on the inside of turn one, inside Luke Whitten there. Håkon's had great pace here during the week, as I said. They're going to make it work too wide through there. They've got to be very careful, Bernie, because if they're not, you're going to see Benny Simonson and Dennis Johansson skip away out the front, Bernie. They've already got a 0.7 of a second gap there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them run away with it at this point, Bernie.
Yeah, we saw Luke there. He backed out of it, and he's got right behind him Alex John and Jamie Simonet. So it's very racy back here in 4th, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, they'll be trying to get it nice and tidy, Bernie. The draft, as I said, has a big impact around here, big part to play, and if the two up front are smart, as we know they are, they'll try and skip away here. Although Håkon now back within half a second, he'll be grabbing full benefit of that draft, and he'll be at the same time hoping to drop Luke Whitten and Alex John behind. So interesting, the strategy will start to come into play here now. These front runners probably won't battle too much after having a taste of that nearly getting dropped there, Bernie, and risking their race for the sake of a position at this stage. But Alex John running very wide there. That could be a costly mistake, Bernie.
Yeah, he's gathered it back up, and I guess he's fortunate in a way that he wasn't coming up to the straight, and that sort of kept Jamie in check. But now he doesn't want to mess up coming into the final corner, and even so, he may still get Jamie in the slipstream and having a run on him here.
Yeah, absolutely he will, Bernie, as they head through the not so straight here through to 13-14 around to the final start-finish line. Alex John there in the Team Milo colours pulling out to take a wide line. Let's try and let Jamie Simonet take the benefit of the draft there, because realistically he was hoping not to lose the cars in front, but at 1.4 seconds behind now, they've well and truly lost those front runners, Bernie.
Yeah, and Jamie's gone through. Alex is being pushed out wide by Russell Clark. Russell's backed out of it, too wide back there, and he's lost quite a few positions. I think he was a bit overcautious in not taking his teammate out.
Yeah, he saw green, not red that time, Bernie, and although he might be seeing a bit of red now, having lost 2 positions into the bargain, but yeah, it's pretty dicey when you're going through that centre S there, Bernie. It's very hard to get your bearings of where the cars are beside you, and I suggest rather than take his teammate out there, or both of them worse still, he settled to try and live to fight another day, as it were.
Yeah, and meanwhile up front, folks, we've got Benny Simonson there. He was, where is he? I think he's just dropped back another position. Håkon Grebstad took him on the inside. And there goes my voice, and Luke Whitten's back there in 4th at the moment. But it's all Dennis Johansson as we complete the second lap here at Interlagos.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of race IQ up in that front 4, Bernie. I'd suggest these guys will be hard to peg back from here, both in terms of pace and how cleverly they'll run this race. Håkon there tucked in behind Dennis. This has been a common story this week. These guys have done a lot of racing together in these front 2 positions. The interesting equation into the mix there, or the bonus, if you like, the wild card, is Benny Simonson. Really fast driver, very strong in these big soft races, doesn't mind pushing to get to the front, as Håkon made a big mistake on the exit of that last corner and let 2 of the guys through in Benny Simonson and Luke Whitten. Once again, Dennis Johansson trying to make the breakaway there, but just didn't quite get enough to get it done, Benny.
In the second battle pack down here, we've got Alex John who's taken the inside. We've got Jamie Simonet on the outside. David McDonald now on the inside, and he moves up a position, and that brings David McDonald up to 6th. And Jeremiah Morton is also getting in on the action here.
Yeah, Jeremiah Morton, a great Australian-New Zealand driver who's been fronting up for some of these bigger soft races recently. Great to see him here at his local one, as we see David McDonald making a move up the inside into turn 4. Quite a common place to overtake there. Good to see David back sporting his stars and stripes, Bertie. He's shown himself to be quite willing and able to get through the pack and have a race, make a race of it, I should say. Alex John now tucking in behind him and really settling down for that battle for 5th position, Bernie.
Yeah, it's certainly on, isn't it? We've got two big battle packs here tonight, folks. The top four, they're getting a bit of a breakaway, and then we've got a battle pack of, about 6 cars behind them, with now David McDonald. He's leading that pack, so he's got past Alex John, up to 5th position now. Can he close in on Hakon and make that a battle pack of 5?
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see, Bernie. If these guys settle down and really put their heads down and try and catch that front group, that's probably the only way that they're going to do it. The front guys look like they're willing to trade positions in a relatively intelligent way, Bernie, and maximise their chances of maintaining that gap. Interesting to see Christian Kabanka on the back of that second group there, Bernie, sitting down all the way in 10th position, if you can believe it. Great international driver from the California club, of course. He's got a lot of pace. Comes to visit us quite regularly, even though the times are a bit difficult for him. But it's great to see him out on track tonight, pushing for I guess to move up from that top 10 position he's in at the moment, Bernie.
Yeah, looking back from Dennis Johansson here, we can see Luke Whitten. He's made a move on the inside of Hakon there, and Dennis is currently running. Where is he? He's on the inside. Let's get out of that view and have a look from the wide view as they go 2 wide in perfect formation, I was nearly going to say, but almost 3 wide here coming into the corner.
Yeah, Luke backs out of making that 3 wide into turn 4, Bernie. Very wise decision, both in terms of the pace that they want to keep on to keep those guys behind, but I see now, and also in terms of getting through the corner cleanly. Håkon making a great move up the inside as they approach turn 6 now, Bernie. That really sets you up, even if you do go side by side through turn 7 now into turn 8, you can get a good passing manoeuvre there done. But again, Luke showing his patience there, just settling to drop in behind, and knows the race is only on the 5th lap now, so still quite young and plenty of action to come, Bernie, so he's settled back in to make the most of the remaining laps in the race.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, there's plenty of action back here with Alex. We're just having a look at his gearbox cam, and he's got Jamie all over the back of him. He's got David in front of him, and I don't know what the likelihood of these 6 working together. I have a feeling that probably won't happen.
Well, it might continue for a couple of laps yet, Bernie. I've already noticed Christian Kabanka, who I was talking about previously, he's jumped Russell Clark in the last lap to move up to 9th. Again, he might find himself trying to bump up a couple more as we see Jamie Simonet weaving around back behind Alex John, looking to move to the outside here. Alex defending that inside line, probably more through circumstance than choice at this stage, trying to cling onto that draft of David McDonald in front. They really don't want to go too wide through here in terms of their overall chances in the race, but they've pulled him back line astern nice and cleanly. Great standard of driving so far, Bernie. Yeah,
it's been brilliant, hasn't it? And I was watching there, Alex went quite defensive and he lost a little bit of momentum. As we can now see the leaders, what are they up to? Almost 3 wide again. We've got Benny Simonson leading, Dennis Johansson, Hakon in 3rd. Luke is sitting back there in 4th position. Then we've got David in 5th, Alex John 6th, 7th, Jamie Simmermay, 8th is Jeremiah Morton, and then we've got Christian Kabanka. And Russell Clark, well, he rounds out the top 10 and he's on the back of this battle pack.
I'll tell you what, Bernie, this race up front, it's really heading up. There's high quality drivers, great car control, and the pace is really on. I saw Bernie Simonson run wide out of turn 4, trying to get every advantage as he can. He could just overcook it a little bit. Now sitting right on the gearbox of Dennis, looking to the inside now as they go through turn 10, just tucks in behind, showing the nose, letting Dennis know he's there. Dennis is a really cool head from Scandinavia, Bernie. He's got ice running through the veins. It'll be hard to see him make a mistake there, but certainly Benny's trying to put every bit of pressure on to see if he can't force one himself, missing the apex there, Bernie, as they head through the final corner onto the long straight here, Bernie. Looks like he's given Håkon the run here. Håkon also from the Scandinavian club. Be interesting to see what sort of line Dennis takes, to see who he gives his draft to. He's sort of hedging his bets, really, isn't he? Taking the wide line. Now Benny all over the back of Håkon here. Dennis, I tell you, he'll be hoping that these two battle through turn 1, and once again trying to skip away as Luke ranges up on the back again, Bernie.
Yeah, and Luke's sitting there, and we can see now Alex having a look on the inside of David McDonald. He takes that position, moves him up, but David's coming back. He went too hot in there, and Alex is dropping. He's dropping, 3, possibly 4, 5 positions.
Yeah, look, that's what can happen there. You can misjudge the draft, as it were, run hot into turn 1, and it cost him a few positions there. Lucky he didn't get a slowdown as he cut that second corner of the centre S there, Bernie.
And as we watch the field come through, and I'll tell you what, there's a great battle pack back here as well, with Jared Marks involved in this, Ben Snell, Brian Lockwood. So they're broken into like 3 big battle packs in this field so far.
Yeah, fantastic racing all round. I was talking about Jared Marks earlier. I was expecting to see a little bit further up the field. This is his first turnout for Monday Night Lights. Usually has work commitments that make it hard for him, but great to see he's in the points at this stage in P12. Also surprised to see Brian Lockwood so far down. He's from the Florida club in the US. I haven't seen him racing the skippies too much lately, but in previous seasons he's been right up there. He runs a little wide there out of turn 9. He's been a great competitor in the 2K Cup, so certainly got the pace in general, probably just short of a run at this stage, Ben.
Yeah, and we can see right behind him is Ben Snell, then Dennis Fiedler sitting in 15th, but back up front it's Dennis Johansson versus Benny Simonson, and then Hakon is defending from Luke. The back two are dropping a little bit, but they're still well and truly in touch in this race with 7 laps remaining.
Yeah, depending on what they do up front, those two will get right back on the front too. Benny Simonson now going too wide with Dennis. Dennis just lifting, letting Benny go through to try and minimise the damage of the overtake in terms of their overall time for the following lap. But what that does allow is the draft to take full effect for the two guys behind. And once again, they're racing for the lead in a battle pack of 4. Lots of overtakes here, lots of different leaders, plenty of excitement, Bernie.
And meanwhile, in the second battle pack, we've got Jamie Simmermay now past David McDonald, moving Jamie up to 5th. Jeremiah Morton's in 7th now, with Christian Kambanka 8th. Alex John, he's dropped down to 10th.
Yeah, the two Milo boys running 9th and 10th respectively, Linus Stern. They'll be thinking what could have been. Of course, Alex John qualified 5th, down 5 positions in the current standings, Bernie. He was right up there with that front lot. Made that one little error that we saw where he ran wide on the exit of turn 9, and that was all it took to drop those front guys, and these guys now doing everything they can to bridge that gap, but certainly their work's cut out for them as the guys are heading around on the balance of lap 8, Bernie.
Yeah, and at the moment Dennis Johansson has the lead. Benny Simonson all over the back of him once again, and Hakon's just sitting there. Luke's dropping off a bit, but I have a feeling he's just biding his time, letting these 3 go at it, and then he'll have his say later on in the race.
Yeah, well, 5 laps to go as they cross the line at the end of this lap, Bernie. He's 4 tenths behind. As long as he gets a good run out of there, he'll be in no dramas of being dropped here. The risky run with a poor run out of that last corner is the two guys in front getting the draft from the leader can actually skip away on you despite you still having the draft, and you'll just see it drop away. Like he's now, he skipped out to about half a second. He's just pulling him back in now towards the end as they all slowed down a little bit. 3 cars there going through have got to go a bit slower than 1 car solo, so you can see that gap really close up there. As he's a bit rugged through the centre S that time, and probably lost all of that again, Bernie. So hopefully Luke can keep it together long enough to get involved in this and make it a 4-way battle for the lead as we close it out, Bernie.
Yeah, and we can see now Benny going defensive again, and Dennis on the inside there. These two are swapping positions, but I can just feel the temperature starting to rise, as we say. Hakon went very wide out of that corner, and that's going to allow Luke to possibly close in. I don't know if Luke's going to, but look, Hakon's now looking on the inside and takes that position. Dennis now down to 3rd.
Yeah, well, that's definitely brought Luke back into it, of course, and that's quite a good move there on the inside of turn 6 there. Dennis played it really smart, left plenty of room, no risk of any incidental contact there, didn't lose any time at the same time, and they've just switched positions now. The strategy will be starting to play in their minds. I know Dennis has a lot of strategic options in his kit bag, because I've seen quite a few of them here this week. He's a good bloke to race with, very smart and very quick at the same time, but
Yeah, we're riding on with Dennis Johansson here, and we'll see if he can get a run. It looks like he's not going to. He exited a bit slower than Hakon and Benny, but he should have the toe here to pull him up. We'll see how effective it is.
Yeah, I think he'll be right. He'll pull up. It'll be interesting to see what Benny and Håkon do, though. Håkon now well and truly in the draft. Benny taking the defensive line on the inside. We've seen others lift to allow the guy through with the draft. Looks like Benny's just going to tuck him behind as well. Lifted quite early there. Made sure that they both make the corner. Håkon running a little deep there, missing the apex of turn 1. Bring it back round in turn 2. The track temp here today is 41 degrees, so not quite as grippy as you might like, which can lead to accentuating the error if you miss your braking marker at turn 1 and really cost you down this long run into turn 4, Bernie.
Hold on to your hats. I thought they're going to go 3 wide. Dennis thinks twice of it, and he closes right up on the back of Håkon. Having a look on the inside now. Will he make the move? No, he won't. But Benny's still leading. Håkon second. Dennis third. Luke Whitten fourth. And we're riding, of course, on the gyro cam with Dennis, and what a ride it is.
Yeah, he closes up very closely, Bertie. I had the great pleasure of riding around in Dennis's toe earlier today in a race, and I was very proud of myself. I'd never hung on to him for that long. We went the full distance and he pipped me on the line. Not to say that I'm quick, just that I was able to hang on to his toe. But one thing I did learn was that, gee, he can ride close behind. He's got fantastic control, sitting within 0.1 of a second for me for the majority of the lap. Slightly unnerving, but great fun at the same time.
Yeah, I think it would be more than slightly unnerving, but anyway, folks, that's a lap of Interlagos with Dennis Johansson, and there was a few clenching moments there, but all's good with coming up with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, look, there's still a lot of stern up the front, and no doubt enjoying every moment with grins ear to ear. Just returning to that second pack that we looked at previously, Bernie. Looks like Mick Gray's managed to fight his way back and get on the back of that. He's now just about half second behind Alex John there. He's sitting in P11, Alex John in P10 respectively. It's line of stern, kind of strung out a bit here. These guys, with just the 3 laps remaining, we're trying to get it all worked out, see what positions they can grab towards the closing stages, Bernie.
Yeah, and David McDonald's now been relegated back to 9th position since we saw them last. So it's definitely heating up, and Alex is still sitting in 10th. But let's jump back up to the front, because as we can see, Benny Simonson on the inside of Dennis Johansson now making that move. Dennis is now, where's he? He's second, Hakon third. Luke Whitten's back in on this in 4th and looking at making a move.
Yeah, that's right. Benny Simonson now taking the unusual defensive line here, surprisingly. You wouldn't think that going up through the inside of turn 6 is much of an option given the nature of the sweeping turn 7, but really sets you up for a good overtake into turn 8 as they head through now on lap 11, Bernie. The balance of 3 laps remaining, I should say. Håkon running very deep there through the sweeping left-hander. It really does set you up. So the guys later towards the later stages of the race will be looking to take those inside defensive lines as the elbows start to come out, Bernie.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Hakon's not afraid to show his nose, is he? As he had a look on the inside, but coming into the final corner here, we'll see what sort of a run they can get. I guess now they're going to be practicing to see if they can get the slipstream up to the start-finish line. We can see Benny on the inside, Dennis on the outside, Hakon tucked in. Luke's just didn't get a good run there, and he's just dropped back again. So I think it may come down to the top 3 here for where they finish.
Yeah, interesting. The viewers at home might have picked up Dennis pulled out of the draft quite early in the races. They really close up now, try and go too wide, really trying to time his use of the draft. Benny takes a defensive line, runs deep. They all miss the apex, bringing Luke right back into play here, Bertie. The 3 becomes 4 once again. I tell you what, they're all starting to get really racy now.
Yeah, they certainly are. You can see Benny going defensive on the inside. Hakon tucked in. Dennis on the outside. Are we going to go 3 wide? Benny's making it very narrow in there, but Hakon's not going to have any of it. And 3 wide into the turn. Oh, good driving. They look like they made it, but here comes Luke Whitten.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's some skill there, isn't there? They've all come up really clearly through there. They're still 3 wide on the run-up. Dennis Johansson in the box seat here as they run up into turn 6. Looks like Hawkon might be left out to dry here. Great car control, not a single inkling of a contact. Luke Whitten again setting up for the inside run into turn 8. Looks like Hawkon braking deep. He's gone too deep there. You can get it done around the outside here, Luke Whitten, if you hang on to it, but no, Hawkon's got the cleaner run out. All of them again, no contact. What a spectacular performance, Bernie.
It reminds me of those Holden precision driving teams at the showground when the Easter Fair comes on. That's how good that was. But yeah, Luke should have watched another video. I saw some crazy bloke take someone on the outside of that hairpin earlier tonight, folks, and I tell you what, it was interesting. But now we see Dennis Johansson running wide. That's going to allow Hawkon back into this. Hawkon, he's not shy, is he? He's going to follow Benny through, and he might even try to take this position as they come up to the white flag.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if that was strategy or not, but Benny left the inside running open for both these guys. Now, Luke going, 4 wide. They're not going to do it, Bertie. Yes, they are. Look at that.
Oh, my goodness. This is getting crazy, folks, but it's great driving all the same. We've got Dennis Johansson, Hawkon, Benny, Luke pestering them, but hasn't made that move stick. So, coming down to the last lap, who's your money on here, Alex?
I couldn't pick it. I've got to tell you, Hawkon moving to the inside into turn 4 there. I can't believe they went 4 wide there, Bertie. That's amazing. Look at that. Benny nowhere to go, boxed out of that passing opportunity into turn 4, running 2 wide again. Dennis Johansson once again on the outside of turn 4. He's got the inside running up into turn 6. You should see if Benny tries to follow. Oh, they're going to make it 3 wide again, but I don't know if I can take it.
Yeah, well, I was on nose cam there, and we just had to shut our eyes here, folks, because it's awesome driving. No quarter given between any of these guys, but no contact. As we see Hawkon now running wide, Luke puts the nose back in, and I tell you what, is he going to get it this time? Let's go back. No, he doesn't. Again, the outside didn't favour him, but coming into the final stretch of this race, we've got Dennis Johansson, Benny Simonson, Hawkon. It's going to be out of these 3, and it's all going to come down that final corner, Alex.
Yeah, well, that move into turn 8 through turn 6 that Benny made's really set him up. He's in the box seat now. He's got a good drive out of here. We'll see him draft past Dennis Johansson by the time they hit the line. Dennis running really, really wide, trying to minimise the impact of that at this stage. They're really going to set themselves up to where they want to be. Now moves across the inside. Hawkon in a good position here to see what position he can make on the podium. Benny now pulling out beside Dennis. Dennis hugging that inside line. It's so tight, Bertie. Who's going to get it on the light? Benny Simonson, his second big soft race of the week, Bertie. That blows his edge in his celebration, but what a spectacular race, Bernie.
And I don't know about you folks, but I just laid an egg when he blew that motor because we're in gyro cam and I wasn't expecting it. So there you go. Oh my goodness me.
What a fantastic race, Bernie. I see the trailing drivers now pulling up after the line. Great to see where we got Jeremiah Morton there in 5th position. Christian Bunker, I was talking about him earlier. He made it all the way up to 7th, Bernie, up 3 spots. Mick Gray managed to snaffle 10th from the languishing Alex J. John. What a shame for Alex after qualifying 5th. Got caught up, not in any damage or any incident, so to speak, but just the heat and the intensity of the racing out there shuffled him down the order down there, Bernie, down all the way in 11th. So, wow, what a race.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my heart to stop pounding. That was an awesome race there. Some spectacular driving, 4 wide. I can't believe it. That's just, if it wasn't for those 4, I wouldn't believe it was possible.
Yeah, that was amazing, Bernie, honestly. So many races this week, you would have seen 2 wide end in tears, let alone 4. That top 4 tonight put on a spectacular display. I mean, 4 wide there is unheard of, let alone 4 wide getting through cleanly, back line astern. What a fantastic display.
It certainly was. So, folks, let's take a breath and go through the final race results here so you can see where your favourite driver finished tonight. So the win goes to Benny Simonson, and he led 7 laps out of the 12 there tonight, but I tell you what, you could hardly separate them. You only won by a nose. Dennis Johansson second, third Hakon Grebstad. Luke Witten slipped 2 positions from the start to finish 4th. Jeremiah Morton comes home in 5th position, followed by Jamie Simonet in 6th position. Coming home in 7th, Christian Kabunka up 3 positions from where he started, with Russell Clark coming home in 8th. David McDonald, he comes home in 9th, with Mick Gray finishing in 10th. Alex John, he slipped 6 positions from the start to come home in 11th, and Brian Lockwood jumped 6 positions to come home in 12th. In 13th was Ben Snell, followed by Benjamin Soko in 14th, 15th Dennis Fiedler, 16th Jared Marks, 17th Jason Wilman, followed by Kevin Henderson in 18th, Jason Perry 19th, and Alou Castells 2, he rounds out your field of 20.
Yeah, Kevin and Eliu having a coming together early in the race that we spoke about at the time, just for that, because we probably missed the footage there. Eliu came from a long way back up the inside of that infamous turn 8 there, looking to make a pass, and the two of them, he and Kevin, not quite able to make it work in the same way as the front runners, unfortunately. Biggest mover tonight was actually Brian Lockwood. We spoke about him earlier. I was surprised that he wasn't further up the order. Probably, like I said, a bit short of a run. But perhaps equally as impressive, if not more so, is Jeremiah Morton, who, whilst he finished only 4 spots up on the grid where he started in 5th position, I'd suggest a lot tougher to do at that end of the field than.
Well, it certainly is. We're just having a look at this replay of the start with Elu and Kevin Henderson here as they have their coming together on lap 1. So we'll see how that, well, we know how it ends. Just want to see how it unfolds, I guess.
Yeah, from memory they tried to go 3 wide, and as they were sorting themselves out, Eliu came from quite a ways back, was my impression at the time, Bernie, and then they were going 2 wide, generally speaking, but then safely I thought at first, but then of course they came together on the exit of the corner there, Bernie, and it sort of ended both their chances really.
Yeah, we're just having a look at that. Elu threw it up the inside, and yeah, coming together at that point. Kevin spinning and going through the back, and of course Elu doing the other way. Precision driving team, not so much.
Yeah, not tonight. I was thinking about the Holden Precision Racing team call that you made earlier, and I'm thinking, yeah, the benefit that those guys have is they get to practice. These guys are just doing it impromptu on the fly, right? So quite impressive indeed.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I don't know if you were thinking of the same Precision Holden team I was thinking of, and most people would probably think of the old Commodores, but I'm actually thinking of the HQs, which folks, they used to blow the smoke and then they'd sit on the bonnet and all the cars would be turning around in a circle with green lights flashing.
Yeah, nice one. No, I was the only ones that I can remember that used to come down here were the Utes, and they had the Utes going, the Holden Utes, and they used to put on a pretty spectacular display. But I think equally or more impressive was the display they put on tonight out there on track, Bernie.
That was a fantastic show, wasn't it? And great racing. I know the viewers in there were enjoying it, which is fantastic. That's what we do it for. And I don't know about you folks, but yeah, I was holding my breath when they went 4 wide, but they pulled it off. Great racing and a great end, and there wasn't any tears, so that's nice.
No, there might be some guys doing some soul searching further down the order, but that front 4, I tell you what a display they put on.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got Benny Simonson in the green room, Alex, so maybe we could bring him up and you can have a chat with him. Yeah,
sounds great, Benny. G'day, Benny. Alex McKellar here, mate. Welcome to the RRTV commentary booth again. I've got to tell you, that was a fantastic race. Lots of action. Great driving, I thought. You guys put on a fantastic display. What was it like out there in the cockpit?
Yeah, cheers, guys. It was quite interesting. I think it's one of these tracks where it's just about being in position for the last lap. So it was just get yourself lined up for the last 2 laps and then see if you can drag it to the line.
Yeah, mate. Well, it looked like a lot of fun along the way anyway, but that's your second big strength of field race for the win. You've taken out both of them. So you had the one midweek and, of course, the one here tonight, the top two of the week. That's a great haul of points towards the overall season. I don't know if you're competing for that, but you've grabbed all the points that are on offer this week, so you must be pleased with the week's performance.
Yeah, no, quite pleased with it. I don't. Unfortunately, I can't have the time to never do a full season. But it's quite happy with the performance. Got one more tonight in the UKI league. See if we can make it a hat trick, but see how it goes.
Well, that'll be quite a clean sweep to make as well, mate. But congratulations on a fantastic win there, and I'll hand you over to Bernie, who hopefully, like me, might have caught his breath by now.
Yeah, I still am. And coming into that last lap, Benny, we're on the nose cam there as you threaded the needle going up the middle there. So fantastic driving. Another thing you can take home tonight, Benny, is you got the fastest lap with a 1:49.787. So congratulations on that as well.
Yeah, cheers, guys. As I said, it was just trying to get in position for that last lap. I think it was the second last lap where we were like 3 wide for half a lap. Was quite interesting, but as long as you're in the first 2 spots, I think you're within the shot.
Yeah, well, we thought it was bad enough when you guys went 3 wide, but when you went 4 wide, I nearly fell off my seat. We haven't seen that, but great driving all round by all 4 of you blokes, and I know the viewers loved it, so congratulations on your win tonight. Best of luck for your hat-trick later on, and hopefully we'll see you back next week.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Don't know if I can make it next week, but hopefully. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, before you go though, Benny, do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to say thanks to Hoskinfield Engineering for the pedals. They sponsor me a bit, so cheers.
Fantastic. Well, folks, that was Benny Simonson, our round winner tonight, and I didn't really ask him any questions, Alex. I was still debriefing.
That's right. Well, look, I've got to say, I was resoundingly impressed with that front 4. I mean, that 4 wide is not something you see every day, let alone pulled off to that level of expertise, shall we say. And I can see some of the comments in our live stream at the moment, and everyone there obviously equally is impressed, because I know a lot of those guys in the chat, including Dennis Johansson, who's there himself. Not a lot of guys get to go 4 wide into turn 1 and live to tell about it. So that was an amazing effort. So congratulations to all 4 of them. It was I can't say it often enough. It was a fantastic display and a pleasure to call.
It certainly was. It was one of the best races we've called for a little while. Definitely the best one this season, that's for sure. And hopefully the action will carry on. Let's go 5 wide, see what happens then.
I don't know about that. But interestingly enough, Bertie, it's great timing that Benny was so prominent. For those of you interested in hearing more about Benny and what he does, I'm actually interviewing him later this week for the Top Split podcast that I do as a bit of a side project to the iRacing. So look out for it later this week. I'm talking to Benny, and then by the weekend, hopefully we'll have the latest episode out, and we'll learn more about what is a really interesting guy with a lot of real track race experience. And I've got to tell you, I'm really looking forward to talking to him more about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It was interesting today, Alex. I was getting ready to go for work, and I opened my podcast and updated it, and I was wondering when the next one's coming out. So I had to listen to the radio, but I've still got plenty of back issues to listen to. So I'll tune in tomorrow and listen to your nice dulcet tones accompanying me on my way to work in the morning.
Thanks, Bertie. Yeah, Benny and I had a couple of timing issues with different things. He's based in Britain. And, traversing the globe is easy when it comes to electronic stuff. But getting your timing right it can be a bit of a challenge. So we've actually been working on this for a few months with different things, trying to get together. Ever since the race, I don't know if you remember, we called a race at the New Hampshire Roval, where he and Enzo had a coming together. And after that race, I sort of wanted to have a chat to Benny about what it's like for a real, someone with real track experience at the highest level coming in and racing with us Muppets here on a Monday night, so to speak. Well, I shouldn't class them as Muppets. There's some pretty good talented drivers out there, but so I've been trying ever since then to sort of get our schedules together, and I'm really pleased to say it'll happen this week. So keep an eye out for that on the weekend.
Yeah, fantastic. I'll definitely be doing that, and I'm sure all the viewers will as well. But as far as coverage on RRTV goes this week, folks, Friday night's our next broadcast, and that is the Australian Online Supercar Championship. We've got a 650k Enduro. And if you missed last Friday night's coverage, you should go back and watch it. We had the first of the 60-60 sprint races, and my goodness me, was that fun to call. So if you like your close action, go and watch that after this and you won't be disappointed. Then of course Sunday night we've got I think it's the Australasian Super Skips coming back on RRTV this week. Is that right, Alex, or is it you guys again?
I can't remember who's due to call it, but actually we're off this week, unless I'm mistaken. No, we're back. Oh, I can't remember. It's either this weekend or next. We're actually racing this track, so it's going to be Sunday week, because the next round is of the official series at Silverstone next week, and because the season for the Australasian Super Skip spans 2 official iRacing seasons, and we've already raced Silverstone, so they're going to back up with this great track. So if you enjoyed the racing here at Interlagos tonight, expect more of it with a bigger field, pit stops, great bunch of guys out on track as well. So plenty of action to be had, but that's Sunday week back here on RRTV, I think, Bernie.
Yeah, I think it is, and you can all see, if you're tuning in from iRacing Live, check out the upcoming events there. You'll see when it's going to be, or you can go over to facebook.com/RRTV Live to see our broadcast calendar there. But of course, Saturday night, I'm sure of this, is we've got the SRA GTE Pacific Asia Series coming back up again, and that should be interesting. I know the broadcast Saturday night was a little bit of a mess, but we did our best, and hopefully we've made up for it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, have, Bernie. A lot of good comments about the new overlays and the flashy new animations, mate. So all the hard work in the background paying off tonight again for a spectacular night of racing, Bernie.
Yeah, it's a refresh of RRTV's overlay, so hopefully you guys will enjoy them, and I'll keep on seeing if I can make them even fancier. But no, fantastic race tonight, Alex. Great to call it with you. The viewers loved it. Everything went off apart from the keg of beer at the end.
That's right. And of course, to catch this sort of action week in, week out, same bat time, same bat channel next week again. So looking forward to that already, Bernie.
Yeah, it's going to come up pretty quick, isn't it? But anyway, folks, until we meet again, don't know where, don't know when. I had to throw that one in. Have a great week, and hopefully you'll come back and join us Friday night. If not, I guess they can also catch you racing around like a crazy person on Twitch.
Yeah, that's right. If you head over to the Top Split TV over on Twitch, I stream there a few nights a week, and you can see that crazy move around the outside of turn 9 that we saw Luke have a couple of cracks at. I'm not one to give out tips to the likes of Luke Whitten, but I know it can work, mate. So, but certainly if you want to check out that action over on Twitch, just head over to the Top Split TV channel.
Fantastic. Well, anyway, folks, thanks for joining us. Thanks for enjoying the race. Until next time, on behalf of Alex McCullough, I'm Bernie Weemers. Have a great Monday night and a safe journey to work in the morning. Good night.